All right, welcome back, Chiefs Kingdom. This your boy Dicey Champ Chuck. We back at another episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on your social media platforms. Our first losing post game show of the season has finally arrived. I know some Chiefs fans were thinking we had a chance to go undefeated, but we never started 10-0 in our franchise's history, and that continued today. The Bills have now beaten us five straight times in the regular season. So, hey, it is what it is. We move forward. At the end of the day, all you can ask for is us having a chance at the end. We had a chance at the end on 3rd and 2 and 4th and 2. We just didn't get it done, man. And I said it too, man. Like, dog, Josh is keeping his ball, man. Y'all better watch him. Y'all better watch him because he's gonna keep the ball in this situation, and he did, and he scored. So that was all she wrote. Patrick threw a pick. It was slim chance anyway he was gonna come back. But my guy Country's on the right. Country, I'm gonna let you get your stuff off, man. I mean, how we feeling now that we got the first loss out the way?
Wasn't the big thing. I mean, it wasn't even. We played too vanilla, in my opinion, and then they was able to take advantage. It was a lot of. We ain't blaming the rest, but it was a lot of missed calls both ways. It was a badly officiated game. They won. I mean, it was certain things that we showed on defense that we shouldn't have showed, or I don't think they really brought a huge script to the game, and Buffalo got away with one. So I'm a little disappointed in the defense. Josh Allen is going to run. I don't know why we didn't put a spy on him, and that's cool. But things happen. But it's not as bad as everybody think it is.
Yeah, it's really not. Jawan Taylor, man. Oh man, that was
a weak call anyway.
Look, man, I'll say this, bro.
That was a weak call.
I felt like this officiating crew was calling holding when it was convenient. Like, they pretty much let him play for the most part, but they called it when it was convenient. That's what I kind of felt like. Because when they called holding on Wanye Morris, I didn't think that was a hold. I thought that was pretty weak.
That was weak too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the illegal pick, nobody, that was clear and blatant. Nobody's saying that, But, it happens. Paul was talking, not Paul, Kevin was talking about, are we hitting the panic button? And it's like, y'all got to chill, man.
For what? This is our first loss. What do we need to panic for? Like, yeah, there's
I don't know.
Is there an issue at cornerback too? Potentially, maybe. Because Amari did his thing early on. He had a couple of catches on Najee. Najee had some not so great moments, but Jamari Connor also had some not so great moments in the game too. We saw him take bad angles on tackles. We saw him get cooked. Curtis Samuel, he had a nice game. He had a nice day. The Bills, they really did a good job of using the pass game to advantage when it comes to setting up those crosser routes. Because really, like, in the second half, starting out, we was very fortunate that Josh wasn't in rhythm because Josh Allen did miss some guys that were running open, and we kind of got away with it. And especially like when he was throwing down the field to Morris, one of the tight ends, and Joe Brady dialed it up. Great play action play. Josh just threw it short. He missed him. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Bro, you can't keep getting in the 3rd and 9 and then letting them convert. Period. You can't. You can't keep doing that. They did it multiple times. They were way, way better on 3rd down. And I don't know. We still were in the game. It just we had 3 straight stops and they couldn't convert on any of it. You gotta convert. If they would have got 3 field goals out of that, we having a different conversation. If they would have got a touchdown out of one of those, we having a different conversation. If Xavier Worthy catches the touchdown in bounds, we having a different. We may be having a whole different conversation. So, I didn't want to lose, but at the same time, It's fixable. Everything that happened tonight was fixable.
My thing is this: would that have really been a touchdown? Xavier made that catch because look, this is the issue I have,
Yeah,
bro.
he was wide open. It was nobody next to him.
Here's the issue I have. Okay, look, I get leading the receiver away from the safety. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do as a quarterback. But this is like the third time we've seen Patrick and Xavier not connect on the deep pass. And my thing is this, bro. Like when I look back at that play, there was so much room to where you didn't even need to leave Xavier that far down the sideline. Yeah, could he work on his toe tap skills? Yes, but at the
He
same time,
took that too early.
at the same time, can Patrick work on being better with the deep ball this season? Yes. Two things can be true. At the end of the day, we done seen him try this three times. Like try to lead Xavier, near the sideline, and I just feel like all three of those times you don't need him to be led towards the boundary that way. So if you know that your receiver doesn't quite have that skill just yet, at least try to help him out. At least try to help him out. Try to keep the ball in bounds to where he has a better chance of catching the ball if he's that open. That's all I'm saying.
He gotta get better at ball tracking too. Pause. But
Yeah, he can work on
it,
that. I'm just saying at the
you
end of the
gotta,
day, we're giving Patrick too many excuses, dog. That's just how I feel. We know Patrick is great. We know he's gonna get it together. But Patrick's not perfect. He be making mistakes out there too. It's not just everybody else. That's all I'm saying.
no, you already know that this is not the we gonna gas Patrick Mahomes up podcast. Pat got to play better too, and the reason I got mad at the game because when they needed to go score a touchdown, you seen what happened.
Yeah, when they finally locked in, yeah, it was a
Yeah,
great rhythm.
so then those same opportunities was there all day. It worked the kinks out now, and I'm telling you, don't be like other teams. I see other teams. I see Detroit. Detroit whooped on Jacksonville today. I think they peaking early, and we still got 6, 7 weeks to keep building. Just keep building, keep improving, keep getting better. Don't peak early. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you got like one more bad comment, and then we're gonna have to,
Yeah,
shut
this
you down.
man account must be a troll or something.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Start Wentz for what?
Yeah, that's
I
gotta
don't
be.
get. But hey, man, it happens, bro. I'm not even upset. I was upset for 5 seconds, and then move on. You get your yell out, you get your cuss words and your expletives, and then you move on to the next game. It's already Panthers week.
Mm.
Look, take them shots against the Panthers. They got all week to work on Xavier and Patrick Mahomes. It looked better. It looked much improved today.
Yeah,
We had to
drive.
we got to work on that deep ball. I don't know if they need to be at practice and just work on some deep balls. Throw him a couple extra balls after practice, Pat, or something. Just don't give up on it. I don't like how you just how Xavier messed up and then y'all just give up on it. I don't like that.
Bro,
Don't
like
give up on it.
they did it again today, bro. Like some of these trolls talking about, man, Xavier, man, I'm telling you, he's a bust. And I'm like, bro, he still scored today. Like, how are you a bust and you still find a way in the end zone despite some of the struggles that you currently having? Like,
You
that's
can't be a bust 10
not a
games
bust.
in your career, man. Stop
No
it.
way. He doing a lot more than what McCall was doing his rookie year. Like, I don't know what we doing here.
Man, McCall was an all pro returner and never mind. Um,
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, besides that, but I'm talking about like offensively, from offensive.
well, yeah, but he wasn't called. It's not entirely the same. But
Okay, yeah. I mean, okay, I
I,
get it.
I get it. I get it, man. We just want better for him. But no, he's not a bust. You can't call him a bust in week 10. And bro, y'all gotta I gotta relax.
This is
I gotta
terrible.
relax, bro. What is?
Hey, I swear some of y'all are trolls, man. Y'all really can't believe some of the stuff y'all saying right now. It's impossible.
I don't know. It's like y'all not used to. The same people were mad today. Last week were saying, "Well, we gotta win. We gotta lose one, man, just to get that feeling."
You right, Philip. Fans are gonna fan. You right, Philip.
It-
You right.
yeah, and it's but just because you a fan don't mean you can't be ridiculous at the same time. Let's not excuse them from that either. just bro, you just cause you a fan.
That's exactly what it is, Philip. They want 2018 all over again, but we've been going through injuries. We didn't get a chance to try to remake
They're
2000.
not even 100%, bro. It's like you ain't even seen the team and what they capable of. So I mean, it's just, bro. Yeah, you just gotta relax, man. It's okay. We're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
You get a bounce back game next week. You get the Panthers. Now, if they barely beat the Panthers, then maybe we can have these conversations.
Yeah, and like just to like break down some of the reasons why we lost this game today. Um, I feel like Kareem didn't get the ball enough. Like
At all.
4.6 yards a carry, yo, 78 yards rushing, cool, but you only get the ball 17 times, man. Kareem was starting to establish a rhythm, and was getting away from it, man. Like
That's
especially
that's
the
why I
first.
get the. That's why I say we play too vanilla. We seen the keys. We seen the things that we need to do to beat this team, and then it was just like, all right, well, we can see we can run the ball. We can do this. All right, let's try this. Okay, that didn't work. Well, let's try this. Okay, that works. And then we just package it for later. I think this is another one of those games where we plan for the future instead of playing for right now.
Yeah,
Now you got to be good enough to do that. Every team is not good enough to do that.
yep,
You
and then
can't
like
look forward.
yep, exactly, Taylor. Like he broke his longest run of the season, and we didn't go back to him. But at the same time, I think we scored a touchdown that drive either way. So, but the first two drives was telling. Like he only got the ball, he only got one carry, and it was for 6 yards. Like the very first drive, I was okay with the trickery coming out. Doing a double fake handoff, handing off to Xavier Worthy, get a few yards out of it. Cool, I was cool with that. The second play, I was I wanted Kareem to get the ball there, but at the same time, Travis Kelsey was open at the stick, right at the sticks. Why didn't you just throw it right then and there? Like, boom, he was right in front. You could have threw it right then and there, but instead, you want to try to extend the play, try to hit Noah Gray down the field, and you saw what happened. Patrick trying to throw the ball still while he's falling down, and he got picked off. And another thing the Bills did a great job of, they were finally a team that took advantage of turnovers. At the end, they got the turnover to close the game, but when they got the turnover, the first drive, they scored a touchdown. And not many teams been able to do that this season.
They, I see a lot of people saying we got exposed and we did this and we did that. It's like, man, y'all got to watch the game for what it was, bro. This is just a preview of what's to come. And
I agree, Philip.
hopefully we see him again. But they might run into somebody in the playoffs and smack them off before we even get back to them. But they always keep stuff in the tuck, man. This is how they play. This is. I mean, I didn't see nothing new today. This is one of the fears that we shared on the pregame show. How vanilla are they gonna play? Are they gonna come out ready to play? Are they trying to stay undefeated? What are they doing? They played their regular game and they still were in the game. It's not like they got blown out or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Harold, you ain't got to tell me.
Who's not seeing the field?
Like I've been seeing all 22. Phil. I mean, Harold, I've been seeing the mistakes Mahomes been making all season. You ain't got to tell me that. But to Phil's point about pass catching running backs, like, yeah, there's another thing that the Chiefs aren't really doing. Like, they aren't really using the screen game like that with Kareem. It's been more so Samaje when they do it, or Carson Steele. So maybe come playoff time, but right
Hey,
before the playoffs,
Carson Steele.
that.
Carson Steele, I love you to death. But if you whiff another block like you did today, bro, you gonna get real comfortable on that bench, homie.
Yeah, it's
Real,
starting to
real
be a problem.
comfortable.
It's starting to be a problem. You can't pick up the blitz.
It's starting to be. It's starting to be. It's a problem.
Yeah,
You missing too many wide open blocks.
I agree.
Pat already yelled at you once. The leash is short, bro. And don't forget, Pacheco's coming back next week.
Yeah,
So that might be your exit right there. But you can't keep whiffing on these blocks, bro. Man, you can't keep whiffing on these blocks. I ain't over them because I still think on a 4th and 1, he can give me that 1 yard or 2 yards or whatever. But his pass blocking is horrendous, and he got to work on that. He a rookie, I know, but it take time. But man, you can't miss him like you missing them, bro. You missing them like you got to check. Like it's ugly out here, brother.
and there's another thing that's kind of concerning right now with the Chiefs, and I hope they correct this at some point. Because I think DeAndre Hopkins has been on the team long enough to where he ain't got to constantly get subbed in and out the game. Like, it's still a little bit too much of that for my liking, in my opinion. I understand certain packages, you don't want him out there. He doesn't have to be out there. Cool. But there's other times when you spread him out 4 wide or spread him out 5 wide and he's not out there. He's on the sideline. So it's
Are
weird
you
how.
saving him? Is because you know that knee has been an issue. So are you just trying to limit his snaps? So you because in
Maybe.
the playoffs, it's probably gonna be like that. That you ain't getting no break. Dog, we need you. I don't think he's getting enough targets right now.
Yeah, like him and Travis, they both got 4 targets apiece today, and that was weird. So, like, were they
I'm
saving
telling you,
it?
bro, they played hella vanilla today. I mean, you can't look at it and not see that.
Yeah,
It was hella vanilla, and it was embarrassingly vanilla. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you the thing, and the saving grace of this whole game is we need to score. Boom, 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 touchdown. And it was nothing Buffalo could do. Buffalo had the momentum and everything. Boom,
right.
boom, 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 touchdown. All right, now answer again. So the defense kind of was a little disappointing today. Oh man. Y'all gotta relax. Worthy.
It's
He's a rookie, man.
this is
He's a
crazy.
rookie, man. He's a rookie, bro. You gotta accept there's gonna be lumps. You gotta accept there's gonna be speed bumps. It's gonna be the roll ain't gonna be smooth and the weather ain't gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta make it through. And this team is 9-1. They didn't
Yep.
get knocked off the pedestal today. We still on the top.
Right. We just gotta make sure we're a game ahead of Buffalo if it comes down to home field advantage. Uh,
Buffalo, and you know Buffalo. You know Buffalo. They gonna mess around and lose. Who they play next week?
they got another loss coming at some point during the year
You know how they, bro. Every time
because they
somebody
play
play us,
because they
you
play
know
the
how
Niners.
Buffalo do.
They play the Niners next week at home on Sunday night.
I wouldn't be shocked if they lost.
Yeah, because the Bills they I mean not the Bills but the Niners they embarrassingly lost at the end to the Seahawks. What's happening, my
DG, the
guy?
voice, the
Good, was
voice,
good.
the voice of
Yeah,
reason.
Chiefs Kingdom's favorite DJ in the building.
I just came in
That
to
I
check
had to,
on you. Yeah, I know some people in here crashing out.
Yeah, of course.
man.
We're not crashing out. It's the chat, man. You know how
I
it
The
know
goes.
the
Bills,
chat. That's
the
why I
Bills
said I
have
know
the fun. Okay.
Worthy is
Who
trash. It's
the
crazy, bro.
Worthy is trash. It's
Who put
crazy.
that?
Like
You
he's a
gotta be in
he's
trouble.
a rookie. This was probably one of his best games.
Yeah.
All right, so DG, I want to ask you this, bro.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Buffalo going. They got a couple more losses if that's their schedule.
I know I know me and D Mac was kind of combative in the halftime
Yeah,
space or
good,
whatever.
bro. It's
I'll say it
good.
worthy. So, like, what did you think? Like, was it even? Was it even as far as like whose fault it was on that play, or what did you think?
I do. I think there are points in times where you obviously Pat's a human. He's not gonna be perfect every throw, every play. You can't expect that from him. So there are points and times I feel like your receiver, you as a receiver, you have to help your quarterback out. You got to go out there and make those kind of just like early on in the game when DeAndre Hopkins, there was kind of a hot throw to him, but
That throw was wild as heck.
special. If you want to be a special player in this league, special players make those kinds of plays. Help your receiver out, help your quarterback out at those points. So I think X has to express a little bit of better awareness on that. As much as he had a good game today, he played well. Had a tough contested catch down the field, which a lot of people who question if he can handle the physicality of this league, you look dumb now.
Right. Because he got
Um,
crunched and he still
yeah,
held on.
Yeah, he got hit.
But you can
Oh,
clearly tell he's a weapon in this league. He's going to be a weapon for them for a long time. But there are points and times where you do got to do the correct things on the field. You got to get your feet in. It is what it is. Could Pat have thrown a better ball? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, every ball is not going to be perfect. Every throw is not going to be perfect. If it hits your hands, you got to make the play.
yeah.
That's how I always equate it to. Great receivers, they make those kinds of plays. So if you want to be a great receiver in this league, you got to make the play.
Now,
And
now I'm gonna
why
ask you
aren't
this.
they using? Why aren't we using our speed more? Like it was a couple times McCall got off. Worthy kind of got off with the speed game, and we just. My opinion, DG, we did a lot of vanilla today,
I,
and okay, okay that works. Say that for later. Okay, that works. We'll say that. Okay, that didn't work. We throwing that out, and I, you got to be a great team to be able to do that during games.
mhm.
But sometimes, man, I don't want to play vanilla. I want to beat these guys.
I think the main thing today is what I've been saying kind of all year. The Chiefs are not a team previously that used to be that team that they could play behind the chains. They could play 3rd and 14 and still pick it up, especially when Tyreek was here and the tackle play was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that no more. It's just not. They don't have the tackle play to do that at this point in time. You can't be in 3rd and 10s. You can't be in. You have to stay ahead of the sticks. And I think a couple people said it in our space earlier, but they did. To me, they kind of got away from the run game a little bit in the third quarter, a little bit too pass happy, and then I think it kind of backfired on them a little bit. It
Mm-hmm.
got them into some third and longs that they can't really manage at this point in time, just because you can't hold up pass protection wise, and most of that is just due to the fact that your tackle play isn't the same at this point. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to know who you are, um, and you got to play towards that. And I feel like they kind of got a third quarter, especially they got away from that. Fourth quarter, I feel like was a lot better, a lot more attacking, especially down the field, getting a lot quicker into their quick game, a lot more, which I think helps out a lot. And then there's points in times where I feel like they're gonna get the point to this season, bro. You just gotta get ate the ball, get the ball in his hands somehow, some way. Figure out a way to get him open. That dude literally catches everything. I'm kind of upset that they didn't get Juju involved a little bit more into this game as well either, especially when Bills were kind of going zone or whatever. I feel like you should have probably looked at his way a little bit more. But yeah, man, this is just who they are at this point. They can't play behind the chains. Like they just cannot do that. They're not that team anymore. So control the clock, stay ahead of the chains, and I think this team will be fine. Defensively, I think they'll be fine as well too.
I'm gonna ask you this defensively. You mentioned something about third and long with our offense. Defensively, we've been kind of struggling here and there on third and long
Mm.
in certain points this year. Do you think that's a concern right now with the defense, even though
Yeah,
they have been playing well for the most part?
it's a big concern. I've been saying that too. The pass rush at this point in time is not doing what it needs to do. A lot of people want to equate to, the secondary was really great last year. Trey McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed was a dynamic duo, and I'm not taking that away from them. But you were also second in the league in sacks last year.
Yeah,
So when you get to the quarterback, it just when you can disrupt people's passing games and get to the quarterback and put that kind of pressure on them, especially when you can rush forward and do it, um, it equates to you getting off the field a lot faster. Um, third and longs, man, I kind of feel like I kind of feel like at this point, Spags is getting a little too desperate sometimes with the blitz packages that he's throwing on third and longs, and sometimes yes they get home, but against a guy like Josh Allen, you can't blitz guys continuously like that and think you're gonna win. It just doesn't work. Those guys, him, Lamar Jackson, those guys are special for a reason. And I said that on the pod earlier this week. That dude 17's he's a beast, bro. Like
Uh,
I know some people may not like him or whatever. Like you cannot deny his talent and what he's able to do for that team. And I just feel like you gotta sometimes sit back and at least keep your rush lane integrity and try to make him beat you from the pocket. And we all have seen there are times where Josh Allen he'll make a mistake. He'll throw it into a window that he's not supposed to try to throw it to. He's an aggressive quarterback. So if I would kind of him in the same way that I treat Lamar. Not saying that he can't do it, not saying he can't beat you with his arm or anything, but you pick your poison in this type of game. And I feel like Spags kind of chose the latter and didn't really, pick his poison as far as, allowing him to get out of the pocket and scramble and use his legs,
how
especially at the
much of that is just Josh Allen though? Because on the majority of the league, that'll work because they don't have the mobility of Josh Allen, the size, or the the IQ of Josh Allen to get away with it.
listen,
But
yeah.
like you said, against guys like Josh Lamar, we can't just keep doing the same thing and being predictable and all that stuff. I think it gets better in a couple of weeks when a mini you comes back, but that's also putting a lot of pressure on him to be better too. Everybody they just weren't getting home today. George wasn't getting home. Uche
Well,
was coming in and
there
they
was a
finally
couple
using
times.
him.
There was a couple times George got home. What I feel like he didn't do was keep his discipline and keep his integrity to contain. It's not
Right.
about. It's not necessarily about sacking Josh Allen. Yes, of course you would like to get the sack. It's literally about keeping him in that pocket and not allowing him to extend and make plays with his legs. When he does that, he's dangerous. It's just kind of the same thing they did with Pat today. And the Bills I feel like they did kind of a better job on it on their side of keeping Pat contained, keeping him in the pocket, and not allowing him to extend plays.
Right. Right.
Well, so we got DG arriving. What's that? I mean, not DG,
Matt,
but D
D
Mac.
Matt.
D Mac, what's up with it, D Mac? Thanks for pulling up,
What's
D
up, man?
Max. So D Mac, let's hear your thoughts on what happened today.
Yeah. So look, obviously, Chiefs lost the game, which has not happened in I think close to 11 months now.
Yeah,
You
almost a
got to
calendar
tip,
year, man.
yeah. You got to tip your caps to the Bills. They're a really good
Mac.
team. You knew that
Mac
coming.
Daddy is crazy.
You knew that coming into
Crazy
it.
work.
And DG was talking about what 17 was able to do. It's one of those things where it, it's a pick your poison. The same way that Spags kind of was rolling the dice versus Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos on some of those blitzes, versus a worse offensive line, versus a worse weapon group, versus a significantly worse quarterback. Those things you can get away with, but these are guys that are going to make you pay when you play the Bills. And so at a certain point, if you're not going to get home with four, then you're going to be dead in the water from that standpoint. And I think that some of the defense's leakiness today was about, the offense in the second half going quiet, specifically to start that second half. They really left them on the field there for a while. And they gave up some points that, you would hope that they wouldn't have. But also, Josh Allen was able to create a lot of plays on third and fourth downs that were impressive. And some of that is simply that the pass rush wasn't there. I was frustrated early in the game that they didn't get more Joshua Uche snaps to give me that complimentary pass rush off the edge. And the ability to have the quick pressure to go along with what the power that George Karlaftis brings in those circumstances in which George Karlaftis maybe is around the quarterback and getting some pressure. If you have another guy on the other end that's winning and what Chris Jones is bringing in the middle of the pocket, then those things start to add up and you can actually get home and affect the quarterback. So those are the things that you're missing when you get Charles Omenihu back, and hopefully you play Joshua Uche some more, then you have the opportunity to do so. Obviously, the cornerback 2 situation is kind of what it is. I didn't think that this was a oh, the cornerback 2 situation lost you the game necessarily type of thing. But those weaknesses showed up. Obviously, you had to leave Najee Johnson on an island with Amari Cooper twice early in the game, and they took advantage of it. They were able to target the middle of the field, in which there were some bad snaps from Justin Reed and Drew Tranquil, and Shamari Connor missed a key, tackle on Khalil Shakir that could have taken him short of the sticks. And that is one thing about Shamari Connor right now. It's a little bit of a weakness in his game as far as missed tackles. So it was just a little bit of everything that added up for the Chiefs to have their worst defensive outing in a long time, to say the least. This is the first time that you've given up 30 points since the Eagles Super Bowl. That's a long time to go without giving up 30. So again, yeah, tip your cap to what they were doing. They had a really good game plan, even though that they couldn't run the ball effectively. They knew what they needed to do on money down to move the chains. On the offensive side of the ball, I mean, I know that a lot of people would like to kind of put it on the offensive line. To me, I thought the offensive line was fine. They got, good yardage when they ran the ball effectively on early downs. I thought, generally speaking, Mahomes had a solid bit of time. They were just kind of the same issues that you saw versus the Broncos, where some of those things were coverage sacks and coverage pressures, where they played man-to-man. Those guys didn't get off those, matchups, and they made it incredibly difficult for Mahomes to find guys that were open. I could question some things about some of the play calling, I suppose, but I mean, it is what it is. I think you saw the drive that they needed to keep the game alive. They went right down the field. I think that that's just what it's going to look like more so when, you get to the playoffs. And hopefully you maybe even have Hollywood back and obviously Pacheco too, where this team can go and get points where it needs to. It's just one of those things where during the regular season, they're just not going to call the game that way. Just frustrating, but it is what it is. As far as, positives, Xavier Worthy obviously started off the game well. You came out, you fed him the ball, you featured him how you should have, and he was able to have a good start to the game, and he made some explosive plays for you to get the job done. Like I said, I think that the rest of the offensive line was fine. I thought Wanya Morris was generally fine, and going to this game as a concern, especially from a health standpoint. I'm sure we'll talk about Kingsley a little bit as we get into the week. Guys stepped up kind of how we need him to. Travis Kelce was, getting a hell of a lot of attention for sure. Maybe you could have hoped that you got a little bit more from DeAndre Hopkins, but it's one of those things where the Bills had a really good game plan across the board, and right now the Chiefs are missing some key guys at key positions, and you lose a tough game on the road. And the biggest thing is that entire, first 10 minutes of the game, you spotted them 7 points, and that was a massive point about it, or 6 points, I guess, technically. Because that Mahomes interception was just killer. And that Mahomes interception, when you compound it with you don't get the ball out of halftime because you lose the toss, and that's how you start the game, doesn't help either. So it's just one of those things. It's a tough loss. There's still things that can get better across the board. I think that my two major concerns are simply the secondary pass catchers, which hopefully you can improve upon, and then the pass rush that has to get better. Because you're not going to win. You're not going to win just not being able to get home before. It's impossible to do so.
And here's another thing that's a killer for me. The second half, Josh Allen was.
I'm sorry,
bro. Mac Hollins, bro, got away with a massive OPI, dog.
Yeah,
like,
we get all the calls, right?
Ridiculous, bro.
We get all the calls.
I don't want to hear the Chiefs and the ref shit, bro. I'm so done with that. Like, the refs are bad both ways, bro. Like, when it comes to
referees are human beings. They miss calls and these things happen. That's just reality.
They missed like 3 face masks.
Man, they missed a face mask. It's a league-wide issue with them with the face mask calls this year. I feel like they've been missing more face mask calls than the past few seasons I've watched the NFL. I've never seen them miss as many face mask calls. But to your point about the killer stuff, D-Mac, for me, that second half, when Josh Allen wasn't in rhythm all of a sudden, when he was out of rhythm and we didn't take advantage of that, that's been an issue for us this year. Like the third quarter, I think we only scored 17 points the entire year in the third quarter. So while we are finishing games, and I like the fact that we buckle down the fourth quarter and usually finish the game, that is something that I would like for the team to correct a bit heading into the playoffs, especially when a guy like Josh Allen is off his square for the time being. Like when you see Josh Allen just not in rhythm and not seeing the field at the moment, I mean, you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I,
You got to.
I think the best part of, in my opinion, on the bright spots of is they put together that long drive, and then when they needed to score, they put together that drive. I think it'll be leaning towards more of that type of action in playoffs when it counts
Mhm.
versus like, bro, I swear, I think they was just trying to see what stick and what can we use later. What can we use in the playoffs versus these guys? Let's see if this works. Let's see if that works. Let's get Xavier Worthy involved. I wish I would have used that strategy for next week because the Panthers, we can do whatever we want versus the Panthers, right? Carson Wentz can start if he wants to, and we'll just work on the offense. But no, it's the Chiefs. It'll be close.
I
But
don't know if I'm ready to go that.
look,
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying they good enough to get away with that type of stuff. Sometimes you want to see a little bit more urgency about it, but what game counts and what game doesn't count? This game in the long haul, the long version of thing, it doesn't count. So it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's things that we need to work on. And a lot of people that said we need to lose, y'all got y'all L. Okay, be happy now. And then let's go out and ride the rest of this season. I don't want to be, I don't know if y'all agree or not. I think Detroit is peaking like right now. Like they highs they gonna get. And I think they not saving them for the playoffs. And then when they run into a buzzsaw, it's gonna kick their ass. I think you just keep getting better and keep building on what you're doing, keep improving. The goal this week was we got to get X involved. He was very involved, and then I hate that they abandoned him after he went out of bounds on that catch. Keep working on him. Keep working on him because we don't need him. Come playoff time, somebody's gonna have to be that second guy. They didn't even go at Juju today. I don't
Nah.
think he got any targets.
He got
Yeah,
one.
They
He got
had,
one
they had a
catch.
little
He
screen
had
pass.
one.
And
Yeah.
I think they also probably missed a chance to kind of get down the field. But look,
And Noah
it's
Gray had a
been
good game too.
no, yeah, no, great, definitely. It's one of those things. It's you miss one or two opportunities. I don't think D Hop should have caught that ball. I think it's a really good play by DB.
That was a
Yeah,
great
that was a heck of a play by the DB.
that would have been a hell of a play if
Yeah,
he would have
that'd have
made
been a
that hit.
spectacular catch for anybody to make, including D Hop. But the Xavier Worthy thing, which blame aside, that's just a missed opportunity no matter where you place it. That's a scoring drive that you take off the board by that point. Again, the opening interception, we always know about the scripted plays and the way that kind of brings to the table on second down. Inexcusable because you had a successful first down for Mahomes to throw that interception there. So those little things, those things are the things that you're a take off on, but you continue to improve upon. Again, the main thing for me is they can run the ball versus the team. So if you say specifically as far as the Bills matchup, which we can talk about other AFC teams, you also what happened to the Ravens today. So we don't have to like panic over that. The Texans still can't get it together necessarily either. When you talk about the Bills specifically, is they can't stop our run game. So if you add in the ability to rush with four when you get a mini hoop back, you add in Watson coming back, which will help you on the outside as well. And obviously they miss guys, so that's going to take into account. And we're still not going to be very good as far as the actual safeties are concerned. That's safeties and coverage is going to continue to be an issue, specifically Justin Reed. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm not going to be afraid to say it because he can't cover tight ends. He just cannot.
It's not like he can block you again.
That's a good point. And well, you could go over to Blue Sky and block me there. And the inability for this team to rush forward it puts you in such a high leverage situation every single time because Josh Allen can have those answers versus blitz because he has his leg and arm to get the job done. So it's difficult to exist that way. But I do feel as far as if a rematch does end up happening, which again we know it happens, I think that you'll get more in Patrick Mahomes, a better game plan that looks like you said, like that long scoring drive that we ended up happening. A Isaiah Pacheco-led run game that'll be even more lethal against a run defense for the Bills that can't stop the run. And I think you'll have Hollywood Brown back, which will help your secondary pass catchers, and even more confidence for Xavier Worthy too. I mean, it's not that they like split safety type of guys, so they're not going to necessarily draft a true free safety.
The Chiefs love versatility, man.
There's also not really many true free safeties.
Yeah, who is the true free safety that you
you can look across the entire nobody right now that's playing true center field
The
safety
last
right
one
now
you
for
had
anybody.
was Juan Thorhill, the last guy that was kind of that free range, true free safety back there.
And they hated him.
Brian Branch is a split safety guy. Kyle Hamilton plays, slot to split. You can look up at. I really do like Antron Winfield Sr. Even he's a split safety guy. All of these guys are split safety guys. The true free safeties don't exist in today's game because quarterbacks' arms are too good to take advantage of those looks.
I was just about to say that, like, there's really not a true free safety in this league, and there's really aren't necessarily true Mike linebackers in this league too. You want to hold on?
Well, I mean,
DG is hilarious, bro.
Bro, because like y'all just come in here and just say whatever, dog. Like Mahomes never looked. Come on, bro.
This is not going to be the best Patrick Mahomes looks this year.
Look, DG, guys, that's your boy, though. That's your boy, the
We literally did this last year. Patrick Mahomes looked terrible for however many weeks it was throughout the regular season last year, and then we saw what happened in the playoffs.
Once he locks in, it's over.
It's difficult. I understand that we want these guys to be completely locked in. These guys have played more games than anybody in National Football League by far over this stretch, and it's not even close. There is a certain level of getting locked into these games, and when we say other team Super Bowls, it is. The Bills needed this game just to stay alive for a possibility to try and win the 1 seed. Guess what? You can look at the standings. The Chiefs are still the 1 seed after today. So those things do matter. And yeah, it sucks. It's annoying to have to see Patrick Mahomes come out and be kind of, iffy as far as the first start of these games. And guess what? Versus good teams and really good quarterbacks like Josh Allen, you can't get away with that shit. But of course, those are the things in the playoffs that get cleaned up. So no, this is not going to be the best that you see of Patrick Mahomes throughout this year. Yeah,
he don't start. He don't even start ramping up to week 12, 13.
Yeah. Like December hit.
Well, he ain't ramping up until after Christmas last year. So
yeah, it did take Christmas. So who knows?
The thing is, you're good enough to do that. Everybody can't do that. Cleveland can't do that.
And it's like, bro, we done played like this unit has played over 20 games. Like the past, pretty much ever since Patrick Mahomes has arrived, they've been playing like over 20 games a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, eventually, it just takes a toll on you. I mean, you've seen it happen this year.
We gotta Chiefs Kingdom. Y'all gotta stop acting like we haven't lost before, bro. Like when these losses.
Well, it has been 11 months. So
no,
we ain't lost since last Christmas.
Listen, I understand that, bro, but like you to think that you were gonna go this whole season and not lose a game, I think was kind of an out of the world thought at this point.
It can happen.
Yeah, it was definitely an out of the world thought.
It can happen, but like
I told folks I wasn't going to entertain until after this game because I didn't think this was a game you could win.
A lot of us didn't even have them 9-0 up until this point.
Yeah, I had to lose to the 49ers.
Right.
Which is another conversation, I suppose.
So to think that they were going to go this whole season and be undefeated and have this defeatist feeling attitude right now, it is what it is, bro. Like you went to Buffalo, you lost a tough, close game. I still feel like despite the touchdown there at the end, it literally came down to the last possession or whatever. And unfortunately, Josh Allen burned you. It is what it is. Like he's. I wish people would really understand like how fucking good of a quarterback and how good of a player that guy really is, man. Like he is one of, to me, in my opinion, I think he's the hardest matchup in this league, just because of what he can do with his legs and what he can do with his arm talent as well. He doesn't put as much fear into me. I mean, Lamar doesn't put as much fear into me as he does, just because I don't think Lamar can do some of the same things from the pocket that Josh Allen can at points in times. But it's like me and you both said, D-Man, these games you have to pick your poison. Which one's it going to be? Are you going to allow him to use his legs and run all over you? Are you going to try to contain him and keep your integrity and keep him in the pocket, which I think you should do, or whatever, and allow him to make mistakes from the pocket and see if he can drive down the length of the field?
Yeah.
I mean, I say it all the time. It's Lamar or Josh Allen. Those two are guys that, if Mahomes didn't exist, would be undisputed best quarterbacks in the National Football League. They just happen to be in that same era. So you gotta tip your cap to these type of guys that can do these incredible things, and they can hurt your defense when you have weaknesses, whether it is cornerback two or man to man coverage, where you can't really rush with force, or you got to send extra guys and they can take advantage of the blitz. So those are things that you have to deal with. Quinn, to your point, yeah, I mean the mileage does add up on bodies. That's why we've had the attrition that we've gone through throughout the entirety of the season. That's why we got so many players on IR or hurt right now. These things happen. It's just our turn for the injury luck, to not go our way. It is what it is. You just hope that you get these guys back by the time that the games end up counting more so. And you got to also tip your cap to the depth that's been able to step up to this point to get you to 9-0, in which you can go on the road and lose to a Buffalo Bills and still be the number one seed in the National Football League.
Yeah. My thing is this. I mean, Josh Allen. Look, I was completely wrong on dude. You know, but at the same time, Joe Brady has been the best thing that's happened to Josh Allen. Like he's put Josh Allen in so many great situations to be successful. We know Josh Allen's always had the art talent. He's always had the ability to make plays with his feet. Tough guy. Willing to take on contact. Sometimes to his detriment at times. But at the end of the day, man, look, Joe Brady did a hell of a job today. He did a hell of a job calling plays. Like even despite the fact that we held James Cook in check. James Cook, he scored on 2 touchdowns, but he only got 20 yards rushing the entire game. So my thing is this: the thing that killed us the most today was the fact that Joe Brady was able to get Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir in spots to catch the ball and make plays after the catch on them crossing routes. Like I feel like them crossing routes were the killers, and in like pretty much almost every time they ran those type of concepts, they was finding ways to get open.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean you didn't have anybody.
My bad, Demon. I was just saying they ran.
No, yeah, you don't have extra bodies in the middle of the field that you would, whether it's a robber or something of that type, when you have to send guys on the blitz too. And so it's one of those things, man. You roll the dice and you can get away with it versus worse quarterbacks. You're not really going to get away with it a lot versus really good ones as well. But again, this kind of goes back to, hey, you get these guys back, you implement it, you refine things as far as the game plan is concerned. Are you going to be able to rush for 4 when it matters? Are your secondary pass catchers going to beat man coverage when it matters? Is your quarterback going to lock into the level that you expect from him when the playoffs roll around? Those things happen, then you don't have anything to be concerned about. But look, if you don't do those things, then obviously good teams can't take you out.
yeah, he does at times, Quinn. Yeah, he does, but sometimes it be on him too, though.
Well, yeah,
challenge earlier today was disgusting.
It was a bad challenge, but the thing I always say about McDermott, and it's why I also thought it was foolish that people thought that the Bills were going to be a bad team coming into this year, because they had Josh Allen on offense and they had a variety of weapons to attack you with, and they had a good offensive line. But that defense plays well because Sean McDermott knows how to coordinate a defense, and ultimately speaking, that's kind of what you need. You need a guy that can be an alien quarterback on one side of the ball and lift your offense on a consistent basis. And then you need a defense that can, be able to get a few stops throughout the game and be opportunistic as well. That's what Sean McDermott provides, just as, to that point. Some game management issues, but guess what? Look, Andy Reid has some game management issues that I don't necessarily like either. So not everybody's going to be a perfect coach, but I do think Sean McDermott is one of the good ones, which is why I think it's always foolish when people talk about him like he's a bad one. Because there's a lot worse coaching out there.
Absolutely.
Doug Peterson.
So I got a question for the room. Does this in any way shake your confidence about a potential matchup in the playoffs?
No, because I expect them to match up different. I expect them to take everything that they had today and learn from today and match up completely different. Also, I think that by that time you even see them again, you have Josh Uche will have 7-8 games in this defense under his belt or whatever. Many who comes back as well. I think if they get into that game again, a lot of times when they struggle today was on third and longs or whatever. You have better rush integrity at that point. If you do that and be able to keep him in the pocket and disrupt that offensive line with four and be able to hang, have some of your corners be able to hold up on the back end, I think this is a lot different game. You can do a lot different things with them, but I don't know. It doesn't. It's regardless of how you put it, it's always going to be a tough matchup, just because they got a guy that can't do. They can do a lot of things that other quarterbacks in this league just can't do.
Yeah, he's a wild card. He's a wild card.
Yeah, that's why I said he's the equalizer on their side. And when he's ready to put that cape on and be what they need him to be, he can do that. Or whatever. But that in a playoff matchup, I expect Spags to be more adamant about picking his poison on what they want him to do. Spy him, keep him in the pocket, have rush lane integrity, and allow him, if he beats you with his arm, he beats you. But do not allow the one thing you cannot allow him to do is beat you with his legs, because that is when he's the most dangerous.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if we meet again in the playoffs, because like DG said, it's gonna be a totally different game plan when we play them. Like until they show me that they can beat us in the playoffs, I'm not concerned about today, because we all in agreement on this podcast that it was mostly vanilla today, like it usually is with the Bills for the most part.
It was homemade vanilla too. It was like that.
Listen, even if we get to that point, let's say the Bills finish with the 2 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you're arguably facing a Ravens team that could come into Baltimore and beat you. You could face a Chargers team that could come into Buffalo. I mean Baltimore, but into Buffalo and beat you. There's a lot of teams that I feel like they still can match up with them well, and you may not even get the opportunity to see them. The Texans can match up. It could be a lot of different things once you get down to the playoffs. The main thing I think for the Chiefs is if they want to go do this thing this year, they got to lock that 1 seed up and be able to have that bye, to have that rest, and only have to play 2 games to get where they want to go.
And here's my thing. Here's my thing. The whole spectrum of the AFC, man. I still think too many people are sleeping on the Steelers, man. Like, I don't know if it was because Russell Wilson the quarterback or what. Like, everybody expecting the anvil to drop on Russell Wilson or something.
I'm sorry.
Well, they have a formula that it works for the Steelers. They run the ball well, and they do the moonshots down the field to George Pickens and
or Mike Williams.
And they play really good defense, and that's a really good formula to have throughout a season. I'll say, I don't think that they can run the ball on us, so I think that puts us in a good position if we match up against the Steelers. But that defense is really good, and that's the thing that you'd have to be concerned about. But I think you're going to face good teams in the playoffs, regardless. If you get the 1 seed, who's ever going to be coming in divisional round, whether it's a wild card Bengals or a wild card Broncos or Chargers, or it could be a Ravens team, it could be et cetera, et cetera. I think you're going to be facing a good team in that divisional round. I think you're going to be facing a good team in the championship round for sure. So I'm not necessarily concerned about that aspect of it. I think there are certainly things that the Bills give us trouble with, and I think those things aren't going away. But like you guys have said, I think that we'll have much better answers for those things, both from a game planning and personnel standpoint, when that rematch would end up happening. So no, I don't have any lack of confidence in this team still going to the Super Bowl in any way, shape, or form. And I will say this while we're talking about, kind of the full, scope of things. Believe me, it could be much worse, because you could be the team that you played in the Super Bowl last year that's at the bottom of its division right now, and wondering how the hell they are ended up behind 3 teams right now in their division, just fighting to get to the playoffs.
Fighting for their lives.
Hangover.
Yeah. Hey, when you see Josh Allen, it's not anything currently that reminds you of Josh Allen. I was trying to think of somebody who reminds me of Josh Allen, and I came up with Ben Roethlisberger without the off-field stuff.
Yeah.
No,
is he a better Ben Roethlisberger?
He's a far, but because he's a far.
He got way more
athlete.
arm talent than
he a better athlete and all that. But
I've made.
But Ben do that. Ben to run on you, and then you'd be like, "Oh, why did it take 11 people to get him down?"
I've made this comparison in the past. In my opinion, he's a Cam Newton that actually got the chance to develop well in well circumstances. He got the weapons needed, he got the coaching needed, he got the patience needed to be able to develop his game, particularly from the pocket, and continue to get better. And he has all the requisite athleticism that Cam brought to the table that was, superhuman at times as well. So, are you laughing at the Bengals too? Because
I'm laughing at Quentin Johnson just scored.
Oh, that's what happened. That's why Julian
Hey,
Patterson.
man.
Yeah, he's gonna call Quentin Johnson Tyreek Hill next.
Quentin Johnson just scored.
Quentin Johnson. I think every game that he scored in this year, they've won.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna win again tonight.
That's a sick throw from Herbert too.
Being in the pocket and Cam with the legs.
That
I'm
was
not mad
nice,
at that.
Herbert. I'll say this, man. Just to quickly touch on the Chargers real quick. Jim Harbaugh has been the saving grace for Justin Herbert so far.
Yeah. That's what coaching does. That's what coaching supposed to do.
That's what coaching does for a quarterback, man.
So.
It puts you in positions to win games.
Yeah, nobody surprised at Jim Harbaugh stepping in there and doing what he was was bound to do. He's had success in this league before. He got to the Super Bowl with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick as his quarterbacks.
Yeah, but y'all know in the past when the Chargers have had good records, when they have made the playoffs before, they don't look like the same Chargers that
I'll say this. If y'all expecting the Chargers to charger anymore, that ain't happened.
The Chargers don't charge
I won't go that far. The reason I say that is because they still need a lot of talent. They still need to get better from a roster perspective.
Roster perspective,
they're a very well coached team, and they have a formula again, being able to run the ball, being able to play really good defense, which what Mentor has done on the defense side of the ball has been incredibly impressive. Specifically, what Harbaugh does bring to the table is just a level of accountability up and down the roster as well. But this is also why I kind of chuckle at people would be like, I want to give the coach the credit. I want to give the quarterback the credit. Sometimes it's just both of these guys are really good at their jobs and doing it at a high level. You got to just tip your cap as far as that's concerned. Also, maybe it's a hot take or not. They got a far better quarterback than any other quarterback they've had in the past. I'll take Justin Herbert over Phillip Rivers or Dan Fouts any day.
Yeah.
Or Drew Brees for that matter. But that's
yeah, Drew Brees. He had a
Chargers. Drew Brees.
Yeah, Chargers. It wasn't long enough.
Drew Brees.
Yeah. So, what did y'all see around the NFL today? Anybody scare you today? Anybody fall off?
I wouldn't say nobody scared me, but I just think too many people are sleeping on the Steelers. Personally, I
think they overhyped the Ravens. Did they sleep on the Steelers, or did they overhype the Ravens?
They've been having the Ravens number for a minute now. I think
they overhyped the Ravens, but I think they also slept on the Steelers.
Yeah, because the Steelers, they now won 8 out of their last 9 games against the Ravens. So they've been having a number for a minute, man. It's just that Mike Tomlin's just a better coach than John Harbaugh when it's all said and done. When the rubber meets the road, you just count on Tomlin to get it done. You
sure it ain't just the Ravens? Because the Ravens, every time they get hyped up and gassed up, they blow.
Look, my thing is this. The Ravens, they held the Steelers to a lot of field goals today. The defense actually stepped it up a little bit.
The
defense did their job. They just did a good score.
Yeah. I also think there was a lot of uncharacteristic things that have gone the Ravens' way that didn't happen today. Derrick Henry fumbling. That doesn't happen often. And he fumbled on the first series. Justin Tucker, it might be time for him.
Oh yeah,
go home and be a family man.
It's time to go out back, my guy.
Yeah. Bro.
He need the whole Yeller treatment.
No, hold on, wait a minute, because I feel because some people was trolling and they showed a clip of Travis Kelce and moving his tee out the way and stuff. They said Justin Tucker hasn't recovered since then.
He ain't been the same since. He missing.
Yeah, it's getting it to me. Of course, you being an older player, when you 50 and beyond, obviously comes a little bit tougher when you start, getting older, losing leg strength, stuff like that. When you start missing from 40 to automatic 47 and missing extra points and stuff
it's problematic.
It might be. It's either something mechanically wrong that he's doing, or he's just losing it at this point.
Yeah.
And
You
I
got the
always
youth.
been a big fan of Justin Tucker just because of the Texas connection or whatever, but it might be time for him to just walk away from the game this year.
He had a nice run though. He was
Yeah,
the guy for what? He was a guy for a while.
Yeah, decade plus. He's one of the best we've ever seen kick a
Yeah,
football.
Yeah,
but he
going
ain't
up in the Hall of Fame.
he ain't automatic no more. Because you used to see him setting up for a field goal. Okay, now we down 3. Okay, let's see what we do now. Now it's like, doing. It's like, what is that?
Look, if
Or these fucking
it's almost 40 and beyond for him, if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm nervous. 'Cause
That's not good.
he hasn't looked. I mean, from 50, I like I said, I kind of understand it. When you start getting older, you start losing strength and stuff like that, and maybe not be able to hit from those distances like you used to be able to. But when it goes into 40, where I feel like every kicker, 49 yards and in, those should be automatics for you.
Right.
Unless it's
Speaking of
bad,
kickers,
or whatever.
Lord Jesus.
Speaking of kickers, how y'all feel about Schrader today?
I mean, he was booting the hell out of them extra points.
He scared the crap out of me on this extra
The
points.
first one was a little.
But
I thought
they
Tyler
were
Dawson
fine.
done
Like
this one today too.
the placement, the placement of them was fine. Obviously, he made them all. It was just he looked very tentative trying to kick, and maybe it's just a difference in watching Harrison Butker compared to him. But I'm a little concerned about if we have to kick some field goals if those things happen. But
yeah, that still is a concern. That's still a legit concern. So I don't blame you there. Another thing I want to touch on the AFC, man. I just love the fact that Aaron Rodgers has a worse record than Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold as a starting quarterback of the New York Jets uniform. That's just lovely, man. It's just lovely.
Bad team. I'm sorry.
Like you made your bed and you got to lay in it, brother. Robert Saleh was never the problem. Was he the greatest coach? No, but he was never.
They're about to fire the GM now.
Somebody tweeted out that do we have to keep talking about I said I'm done talking about the Jets. I think it was that football guy or whatever. He's like, I'm done talking about the Jets. I'm like, I was there a month ago. This has been a bad team for literally the entire season. Yeah. Y'all are just catching up to it. It's just the reality of the situation. And this also goes back into everybody trying to think, the Dolphins going to win the division, man. The Jets going to win the division. They traded away stuff on Diggs. This
was always the Bills. It was always the Bills.
Aaron Rodgers is 40-something coming off of Achilles, bro. What did y'all think he was going to be?
I tried to tell people, I was like, did y'all watch him his last year with the Packers? And now he was already clearly declining. Now he's older, coming off of Achilles and in a worse situation. He doesn't have Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur was saving his ass a lot of the times, trying to give him a good situations to throw to, and he was changing the play at the line of scrimmage when he shouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm. Simple as that.
How did Aaron end up being a bigger jerk than Brett Favre? How did we get here?
He Brett Favre continued that after his career too.
Yeah, when he back up Brett Favre for like 3 or 4 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Favre ain't
Brett Favre was doing.
I mean, Rodgers ain't at least stole no money from no people.
That's true.
Are you sure? Because it looked like he's stealing some money from Woody Johnson.
Yeah, look, but I can live with him.
At least he's stealing from the rich and not the poor. I agree.
I can live with him being Robin Hood. Brett Favre, on the other hand, criminal acts.
Yeah, unsolicited
life.
Picks.
Give him life.
Give him please.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Aaron Rodgers is over, bro. Don't consider coming back next year, bro. It ain't no need. It's over, bro. Ride into the sunset or ride into the darkness, whatever you need to do.
And also, I want to touch on we'll touch on the Denver Donkeys real quick because I
don't want to touch on the Denver Donkeys.
They was impressive in that little bounce back spot, But Bo Nix, man, he showed out. 307, 4 TDs passing. Like, is Bo Nix the second best rookie quarterback?
No, that Falcons defense is bad. Wait, are you saying he's the second best rookie quarterback this season?
Yeah, the rookie. All the rookie quarterbacks.
Who's his number one? Jaden?
there's
still
an
lean
argument that
Jay.
he's the best rookie quarterback this season. I think Jade's probably even better, but there's an argument for it. But no, he's still the fourth best rookie quarterback. Like if you were asking me to redraft today, I'm taking all three of those guys.
Oh well, yeah.
But look, he runs Sean Payton's system very well, which you expect him to do because he's a 7-year starter in college. That's why they drafted him. So he's doing what they drafted him to do, and he's doing a good job.
I think for him, it's the right situation, being with the right coach. Obviously, Sean Payton still hasn't, lost his touch or whatever. He's still a good coach at the end of the day, and that's why coaching matters in this league, guy. It's the reason why the Harbaugh and the Chargers are doing what they're doing. Why Denver is, doing what they're doing.
When the Chargers get the ball back? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, and Herbo has been spending on them. But yeah. Anyway, coaching matters in this league. You gotta have the right coach, right system. I think for Bo Nix, he got very fortunate going to the right system to a guy that knows how to play to his strengths. And then I think today was kind of indicative that Falcons defense is ass and they can't get to the quarterback. I think they're last in the league in sacks, pressure rate, whatever. Like they just don't generate any pressure at all. And it's kind of sad because they felt like they made some moves in the offseason going to get Judon in the trade and bringing him over, but they just haven't been able to do that. And I think it's really gonna bite them late here in as the season goes on, because there's only so many times you can win shootouts.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And also, like, at least you got to see Michael Penix for a little bit today.
I was gonna ask, how did he look?
I didn't get to see none of it. I mean,
he's like a 26-year-old rookie.
I didn't see him play at all.
Yeah, because we was all focused on our game. So
yeah.
But he got one drive. He was 2 for 4, 24 yards. So
I do want to give it a shout out.
Ted. Okay, bro. We get it. Okay, bro.
So
I put all your comments up, bro. We get it.
Ted, you just gonna call everybody overrated or they suck?
He's thinking of names. He's taking them.
I would prefer to just allow him to yell at himself, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to give a shout out. Anthony Richardson did a really good job. Was able to dice up that Jets defense. Came back, looked pretty poised. So maybe the time off certainly did something for him. And I'm glad they can stop lying about asking, that Joe Flacco gives them the best chance to win. And the other thing, I know that it's probably going to get lost in the shuffle as well, but I watched the entirety of the Packers and Bears game, and Caleb Williams did enough so that they should have won that game. Just blocked the field goal. And this is where having conservative coaching can bite you in the ass. He played for that field goal to be longer than it needed to be, put you in a situation where the trajectory of that kick is lower than it needed to be, and they ended up doing that. So the Bears made a misstep in keeping Matt Eberflus. It's going to cost them, some wins, certainly in the rookie year. You just hope it doesn't cost them Caleb Williams' entire development as well.
So you saying it wasn't just luck, D-Mac?
No,
if they blocked the field goal?
They said that they noticed, or the Packers said they noticed.
Okay. I knew it was
the refs. Yeah. The refs helped them.
Yeah, the Packers said that they noticed something on tape as far as the trajectory of his kick. So, and they knew what they needed.
Is that legal? Are you allowed to do that?
And then the refs jumped in and
Hey, I'm gonna say this real quick, man. The Bears, they definitely showed a better effort today. I mean, I expected them to play better after they let Shane Waldron go. At the end of the day, man, good teams just find a way to win, man, and the Packers did just that. And to D-Mac's point about playing too conservative, what did I say 2 weeks ago when we beat the Tampa Bay Bucks country? Did I say the just be a bit conservative at times?
What you talking about, Chuck?
you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Because even if Luce is a defensive coach like Todd Bowles, and they can get conservative at times, and it'll be at the wrong time, and they end up losing somehow. So,
who cares, Kevin?
Kevin, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, why does it matter to y'all? Like, Patrick Mahomes
would be known as the best, GG.
He has 3 rings in his career up until this point. He's been to the AFC title game 6 times, 6 straight times in a row.
Every
Like
year.
let them people talk. I don't care if they think Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, whoever is better than him. Yes, and they all may be having better years than him at this point in time. None of that stuff's matter when it comes down to these players holding up in Lombardi at the end of the year, and you cannot tell me that's not what every player in this league wants.
Right. And
You know,
bottom line is this, bro. Look, we all know that Mahomes ain't been the best quarterback this season so far. But when January comes around, he's gonna remind y'all what time it is. And then right back to square one. So,
Yeah, it's just find a guy to blame. I done seen Jawan Taylor, Brian Cook, Mahomes, Worthy. We just want to blame somebody. It's okay, man. We'll be fine.
There was not one person to blame here. There was enough that the Bills did well on their side of the ball, and they're a good team that took advantage of different weaknesses that the Chiefs are having right now, either due to personnel, either doing coaching, not coaching up to their standard, quarterback not making the plays that he's supposed to be made, or injuries as well that are limiting some of the talent that's out there too. Not one person there. Jawan was fine this year today, in my personal opinion. I know people are going to be like, "Oh, they held. The game was over with by that point, so it didn't really matter." To be honest with you,
and it really shouldn't have been called because it
that was a
didn't
weak.
affect the run at all. Like,
yeah, I mean, it was.
weak
There were
call.
two kind of iffy holds that were called, and that one was inconsequential in my opinion because the game was over with. But the earlier one did matter ultimately because it stalled out.
The Wanye one.
yeah, the Wanye one was awful.
It's one of those things where guys are going to be engaged on the edge as far as the tackles are concerned, and if you have a quarterback that escapes out to that side because it's in space, you've got like a 50-50 shot of the ref calling it. It is what it is. Unfortunately, guy got 1 year on that one. It is what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, for the most part, they let him play. It's just that, like I said earlier in the show, I just felt like they just called it when it was convenient. But
they let Matt Collins play. I'll tell you what, because he was running, right alongside him, and he was like, "Oh, I got to go hit this guy because coach."
Like, bro, it was an obvious pick, dog. Like,
hey man,
I'm
getting this.
And he knocked the piss out of Nazi too. He knocked him over and down on the ground, and even hit Nick Bolton. I was
like. Sometimes they'll let it go especially if it looks like a guy is running an actual route. He literally tackled.
Yeah,
Nazi.
that was not an actual route.
Hey man, screw your cousin. Screw your cousin. Right?
The Chiefs get all the calls at the end of the day. The Chiefs always got the refs in their back pockets, so.
Right. We didn't pay him enough today, apparently. We didn't pay him enough, apparently.
Yeah, that memo didn't go through.
Decline.
Damn, it's 21-6. Come on, Bengals, wake up, baby.
I had a feeling this was going to be a bad matchup for the Bengals.
Oh man,
I did too. Because again,
Win is a Chargers fan. Jesus,
it's the theme of the entire season. Can you stop the run? Can you run the ball? If you can't do those two things, guess what, Cowboys? You're gonna have a long season. That's what the Bengals are facing right now. You can't stop the run. Guess what the Chargers gonna do? Run the hell out of the ball and play action you to death.
Man.
You can't run the ball. Guess what the Chargers gonna do? Pin their ears back and get after Joe Burrow. That's what's just gonna happen.
Yeah, simple as
it's a difference.
I did want to show this though because it was. I mean, like,
us.
Watch what happens to 13 and white.
It's a simple
watch what happens to 13 and white.
He tackled him. I don't know how else you don't.
My boy Nazi died out there,
bro.
How are you the back?
The way, bro.
You clearly
not
have
even close to the route that he's running to.
How are you the back judge and you don't see that?
He's like, okay, I see him. Hold on. I got you. There you go.
And the thing about it is,
the sideline judge looking at it, dog. Like, what?
The thing about it is, in hindsight, he really kind of didn't have to do it because they kind of ran the mesh pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran it well because Nazi got beat off the line of scrimmage. So he didn't have to do it. But Curtis did stumble, so maybe there's a chance if Nazi doesn't get knocked off that he has a chance to make a
I think
he probably doesn't. I'll be honest with you, based on how they tackled today. But even so, I mean, he didn't have to do it, but it was very clear offensive pass interference that should have been called.
Yeah, this was one of our worst tackling performances.
It was bad, and we've been really good tackling this year.
Yeah,
You know, a little bit of Shamari Connor, you know, but they took advantage of it. Whether it was Shakir, whether it was Curtis Samuel, obviously Josh Allen took advantage of it with his legs too.
yeah. I was thoroughly disappointed today because I said earlier in the pod last week that this team has been good in tackling in space. Um, they weren't today. They were not,
Nope.
at all, especially in the secondary levels. Shamari Connor missed a few key tackles. So like the linebackers did a kind of a bad job of tackling as well today. But all in all, man, like it's just a loss, bro. Like you got to look at it. It's just a loss. It is what it is. I'm pretty sure in that locker room they're gonna grill up, eat it, and move on to the Panthers. So
Let's
tough environment to
let's
go play in.
let's end this on a positive note. Today, the trifecta was reached all the way through. Good job, guys.
And
Congratulations.
yeah, baby.
Finally got that broom out.
It took them.
It was
It took them
the
to
tweet.
fucking lose. That's all. That's all that had to happen. They just had to lose. That's what it was.
Okay,
Nah.
listen. And that would be the last trifecta of the year.
I told you, Mac, the beginning yesterday that longest reception. I seen it at 14 and a half. I was like, Xavier's gonna hit on that. There's no way that they don't give him an opportunity to get that, and he got it literally. I think on the first or second play, the one that went down the field to.
Yeah, it was early.
That was a nice little corner round.
Yeah,
it
so,
was. And look,
that was got crunched on.
That was a contested catch situation. He was able to make that catch, got hit, and very shout out to him, man. This was going if again, obviously, whether you blame him or not, if that completion down the field it happens, then it's one of those games where it's like, Xavier Worthy had a coming out party versus the Bills. Unfortunately, could not complete it from that standpoint. But yeah, we swept, and all it took was the Chiefs to lose for us to get all of
I was a little concerned because y'all keep dipping in that Noah Gray bag, but Noah Gray had a game today.
It burned us last week, but I knew that he had a good matchup this week. I was pissed though. I'm not gonna lie to you because he had the touchdown the first time, and he had it. It was only 16 yards, and I was like, oh, if he doesn't catch another ball the rest of this game, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, I was like,
upset.
we gonna get hooked for half a yard, bro.
I'm not in on the hook. Do not end on the hook.
Oh, man.
And I also wasn't paying attention to what Mahomes' number was at as far as the final drive was concerned. So I was like, if they overturn this Justin Watson catch, and that's how we lose, I'm going to be upset too.
Yeah.
Speaking of good acting job by Justin Watson because you did not catch that ball, sir.
Yeah, he
was not a catch.
hit his arm just enough to make it believable.
That was not a catch. Yeah. We got away with one on that one, but shout out to the guys, man. They tell the truth. Bet the house, the Discord and everything. Y'all go check them out. They did a hell of a job this week. So we 1-0 this week. So
I mean, at least on that spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bet over on everything next week. We play the Panthers.
Man, y'all know this finna be a 17-16 win.
Yeah, right.
Come on, D-Mac.
I can't wait.
Come on, man.
17.
Come on, D-Mac. Give us a 30 to
the Bet the House Discord.
Y'all know what Discord is?
The Bet the House Discord is in the Kingdom Cast bio on Twitter. Make sure you guys check that out as well.
Did it come through?
We're gonna win 17-16, dog. You know what it is.
I would be so.
Oh man,
14,
I can't stand you, D-Mac, for putting that in.
Don't do that,
barn burner.
Don't do that, man. We got after a loss, we got to come out like gangbusters, man. Come on,
man. We'll see.
The link is in the bayou, Scratch. Link is in the bayou.
I got you, Scratch.
In the bio. I say bayou.
Bayou. Yeah, go ahead, throw it in there, Chuck.
Link is in LSU.
That's how you know he lost today.
Link is in the bayou.
Link is in the bayou.
Country
wild,
just thinking about February. That's all it is. That's all.
Yeah,
man. You know.
Nah. Yeah. Join the link. It's in, Chiefs Kingdom Cast bio. CJ is in his too. It's in mine as well too. If you want to put it in the chat as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just come in and join us, man. It's no fee or nothing. We just community of people right now sharing their bets. CJ shares a lot of good plays or whatever. So you know tell his stuff. He wins constantly or whatever. So you get some good advice and get some good bets in there. College football, everything. You know, we do it all in there. NBA, MLB, hockey. I've seen people in there betting on hockey. Kyle's been in there betting on hockey or whatever. So
Oh, Kyle.
yeah,
I could.
yeah, man. Come in and
Kyle's a
come in
hockey
and
dude,
join us.
man.
Yeah, bet MGM underdog. Holla at us, please. Let's
Prize
work together.
picks, one of them.
Hey, let's work together.
Come on, let's work together.
Man.
Come on. Let's
So
work
I mean, we took a L. You know, it happens. 9-1. We get right back where we need to be. No cheeseburgers tonight. No cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
But
that
we'll be fine, man. Tell the truth every
Oh, there you
Tuesday,
go.
8:30, 7:30,
so
8:30,
8:30.
8:30.
8:30 most days. So tell the truth. They've been kicking ass all year. They up 51. What episode y'all on? Congratulations on 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Been a hell of a ride, a hell of a journey. Proud to have you guys a part of the team, man. Y'all kick ass every Tuesday. That's evidenced by the trifecta today. And Discord's in the chat, so y'all link up, join. You don't have to be invited, dude. You can just go right in, right?
Just click that
Yeah,
link.
just click the link and then and it'll send it to one of us.
It'll say accept the invite. You just click accept the invite and you in there.
You in?
So
I know y'all doing so much. Where else can we find you at? DMAC got Max match up, and he had guests on today. What's up with that?
Yep, and I had to go live on my Twitter before we had our Max Marquee matchup. We're gonna keep on keeping it rolling as well, so that's gonna be something I keep doing every Sunday morning. I'll have that going up on that DMAC Wake 316, man. Previewing whatever's the best matchup of the day. Obviously today it was us, and we'll see what it is next week. I haven't even looked at what the slate is next week to see which one I feel like doing. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's good to talk about the entirety of the NFL as well.
DG got the Arrowhead AM PM podcast.
Yeah,
in Spaces.
Arrowhead AM PM. Spaces Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. in the morning. Me, Ross, Ethan, Corey, Trizzy, all of us talking ball in there. Just give y'all something to talk about during the day, and then the podcast as well on Wednesdays at 7:30. And then you can follow me at the bottom. Keep it prolific. Sports, music.
Bring them playlists back.
Yeah. I've been lacking on the playlist. Life in a little bit. So
see that's why that's another reason why we
that's
lost.
why we lost right there. He didn't
do a playlist.
No, because I didn't make one last week and we won.
I know.
I thought about doing one this week, and I thought about doing like mostly Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine or whatever, just because it was going to Buffalo.
Yeah. That would have been.
I didn't want people to get bored with Coke rap.
No. But that playlist is strictly for me and like two other people in the world.
Yeah,
that's
I was
okay.
I'll just leave it alone. I'll be
save that for the playoffs, and I'll enjoy it accordingly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we killing it in the playoffs. I ain't gonna let you slack on the playoffs.
Nah,
playoff playlist is gonna be cracking. Yeah. So, Chuck, what you got?
All right. Well, so I mean, for me, man, it's the same old thing over here in Kingdom Cast, man. You catch me on Thursdays per usual on this platform. Other than that, man, you just find me anywhere where there's a space or just me talking about the Chiefs or whatever on the timeline, man. So that's it for now, bro.
Why is Harbaug's eyes so dang big?
I should have took Justin Herbert for his rushing yards tonight. God, he gonna have 100 yards.
Oh man, he taking off too. Yeah,
good job, Bengals.
Y'all
on y'all way. You gonna be good. You the next Lenny Bruce.
And we'll end it on that note, man. That being said, the Chiefs got an L, but it's all good, y'all. We're gonna bounce back. It ain't nothing. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all your social media platforms. Till the next episode, we out, Chiefs Kingdom.
Peace. You on your way.